Welcome to another edition of the Welsh Pantheon. Today we are doing God Manawyddan, also known as Lord of the Mist. I hope that you like this song that I got. It is from the Lord of the Wings, Pippin Song. As always, here comes his titles, alternate names and spellings, and symbols.
Mist behind, the world ahead, and there are many paths to tread, through shadow to the edge of night, until the stars are all alight. Mist and shadow, cloud and shade, all shall fade, all shall.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed his short thing there of his titles, alternate names and spellings and symbols. God Manawyddan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. A lot of images, I do not have a lot of images of him, and I am sorry about that. But as we may or may not, if you may or may not know, that with the Celtic gods and goddesses, it is very hard to find pictures of them because they are so ancient, that even more ancient that I would say the Egyptians are more well known. What I'm trying to say here is basically that the Celtics, it's not as well followed as the Egyptian, the Greeks, and the Viking ones, the Nordics. Well, anyhow, God Mandarin was known mainly as Lord of the Mist, and also actually looks, a lot of the symbol of his pictures actually looked like the Christian God Jesus, and a lot of stuff that refers to him as, you know, kind of Jesus. And we know the Christians took a lot of those stuff from the pagans. Pagans cover, you know, all the pantheons. So this is another guy that they mainly got their image from him. And a lot of stuff from him. Anyhow, he is god of weather, sea, oceans, healing, and sorcerers. So, for male witches, he would be a great god to work with because he is god of sorcerers, which is basically the male witch. He is a really highly weather god, and the story about him being the god of weather is very interesting into the Romans. When the Romans came in, and their god was Neptune, they took away his title as being god of the oceans, because of Neptune, which is aka Poseidon. And Poseidon, they actually took the trident and stuff. But, and also in the Roman myths, the Roman pantheon, you see that he is also referred to as Neptune's son as well, in some of them. So as a lot of religions, you know, when they come in, they take a lot from the other religions. So that's another example. He was taken 2 times from people. But anyhow, his sacred animal is the swine. His sacred colors is green, blue. His element is water. The best Sabbath to walk with him on would be the summer solstice. Now, the summer solstice makes sense to me, being that when I think of oceans and weather, I think of it being sunny, nice, which we know that's not all the time correct. But a lot of times I think of beaches when I think of like weather on the seas and stuff. So, summer solstice I would think would be pretty cool. Anyhow, his associated planet is the moon. His representations is the trident, seashells, his orbs and ensigns and other stuff would be amethyst, Fenrin, his mother was goddess Diana, I'm sorry. If I mispronounce these names, they will be listed below. His father was god Liu, Falcon of May. We just did him. His lovers and / who he was husband of. This is very interesting coming up. One of them, the number one resource that people say is another example of that there is homosexual gods. He was actually in love with, if not married, he was called the Druid hero. His name is this. He was also known his second choice to be married to or in love with goddess Thane, the beautiful. And his third one was to be goddess of the island of shadows, goddess Ife. And he was known not to have any children. And I hope you liked this presentation on God Manawyddan. He is a very interesting god. As always, the story of him will be listed below, and all the links and resources I did to get this information. So anyhow, I hope that you have a blessed week.